welcome to NocBro Nation.
Welcome back, guys. Daryl here.
And I am Josh, and today we're here to review episode 6 of The Walking Dead Bonds.
Fantastic episode. Let's just get right into the whole meat of this episode, the amazing part of this episode. Negan and the Whisperers.
Oh, Jesus.
Let's just make that a TV show. Negan and the Whisperers.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, dude. It did not disappoint by any means.
Because, I mean, we know Negan's personality, but even Jeffrey D. Morgan on Talking Dead, during an interview, he was saying that with doing this with Ryan Hurst was awesome, but he allowed himself to be Negan to have him get pushed a little bit harder. He said there were scenes that weren't even allowed to be put in there because Jeffrey D. Morgan went a little too far with Negan. Yeah. It's so hilarious.
It's awesome. I hope that they somehow give some of the fans those scenes, whether it's on the DVD or Blu-ray release. But yeah, you could just tell that Beta was getting so frustrated with Negan as he's walking, and Negan's just constantly talking to him.
Now, the biggest takeback from this is, and Samantha Morton also mentioned this on Talking Dead during their little interview things that they do. She wasn't on Talking Dead, but they do kind of cast interviews.
Yep.
That she mentioned that, and we got to see it, that Beta recently has been very critical of Alpha's decisions. He is instead of like giving her positive feedback and doing what she says, or if he doesn't totally agree, saying it in a way where he's not like questioning her authority. But lately he's been questioning her authority, and it seems with Negan on board that he might be a little jealous because Alpha even challenged Beta.
That was a powerful scene.
Oh, like, do you want this?
That was a powerful scene because, and that to me was probably the for two reasons, my favorite part of the episode. One is you got to see the dominance of Alpha because she says, "Is it time for Beta to take over and be Alpha?" And you're sitting there like, "Oh shit!" Like
he kind of like didn't you think he should have dropped to his knee immediately? He
should have like
he paused like thinking about it.
He should have cowered like a dog and you know,
that's what you would think he should do.
What you think, yeah. But yeah, the second reason why I like that is here's Negan watching this go down, and he's just smiling from ear to ear because he's got now he's going to use that, and he certainly did use that against Beta.
He is observer. Negan is a big observer.
You think that he's smart.
He's very smart,
really smart,
and he knows because like how he said that he used to have people bowing to him all the time,
but he would never do that.
Right, exactly. But in the end, though, it was basically Negan finally realized, like, okay, it's Alpha's basically domain. I don't need to be kissing your ass, Beta. Yeah. It's Alpha's decision. So when Beta led him out there to basically test him and ultimately possibly kill him, Negan comes back. You better get ready to have my...
That was freaking awesome.
I think even Alpha was surprised.
Well, yeah, and I think that overall...
Because she trusts Beta.
Yeah, I think the test was not so much like taking Negan out there and showing him all the tactics, which was awesome, by the way,
and cooking the pig.
That's music,
amazing. The music was fun. It went a little bit too. It went a little bit too long. I wish they wouldn't have had it too long.
It became the Beta and Negan show.
It did, yeah, yeah. So I mean, the music to me just went on a little bit too long, but it was still cool.
I loved it.
It was cool.
I loved it.
But seeing them actually seeing how the Whisperers hunt and cook a pig, and. You know, it was just cool.
But what I was saying is, I don't necessarily think the test was all that stuff that they did. I think the test was to see if he could conform to their way. And he certainly can't because he's not going to whisper. Right. But the fact that he knelt to Beta
You mean Alpha?
Well...
He knelt to Alpha.
Whatever.
Beta.
Well, yeah, Beta was right in front of him, dude. Alpha was right in the background. But she was watching all that go down.
But nobody bows to Beta. He didn't bow to Beta.
That's true.
He bowed to Alpha. Nobody bows to Beta. They're just fearful of Beta because he's her protector.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, just seeing that, we know the comics are coming to life. He is infiltrating. He is doing what he needs to do. To get in, he was like, look, I have been imprisoned by your enemy for the last 8 years. I'll tell you everything you want to know.
I mean, they're setting it up perfectly with the comics,
They're setting it up perfectly. If you haven't seen our videos regarding Alpha and what can happen to her, they are setting this up pretty bad.
I mean, they've almost followed it to a T.
Yeah.
Almost perfectly to a T. Like, to your casual viewer who is watching this show and not read the comics, you're seriously thinking that Negan is going against Alexandria and he's turning bad again. And as you were reading the comics, 168, I believe, King and Queen, we thought that. We didn't know what
we didn't really know. Yeah, didn't really know. So
awesome.
I mean, they're setting it up, and it's going to be a pretty cool outcome of however they do it. But I just thought the whole aspect of that was really great because we got to see the jealousy of Beta. You know, another guy coming in who is just a big talker. He's a big personality like Beta. He commands himself really well, and he's allowed Alpha to take pause when normally Alpha would probably kill, because we still don't know how the Whisperers recruit other Whisperers. So, Beta's just upset that Alpha just didn't kill him immediately or had Beta kill him immediately.
Did you like the part where Negan lays out this little piece of skin?
Yeah,
and Beta lays out this whole square.
and then Negan puts over another slab,
he adds a little piece to it. Yeah.
And then him keep getting the little knife. He was like, seriously. This little knife, come on.
Yeah, I loved everything about it.
I thought that was great. So the Siddiq thing, it's going to be rolling over into the next episode. Some big stuff coming next episode. But Siddiq, is still going through his stuff, but it's everyone getting sick, and that is due to the water contamination. Now, one thing I messaged him early in the episode is where the heck is Aaron? Why isn't Aaron back yet and telling them, hey, I saw a Whisperer contaminating the water supply. So maybe you should treat people this way because they're just got Walker blood and guts and they're just getting sick.
Yeah,
but what could it turn into though? Because a lot of people are getting sick, and it's going to bleed over into the next episode too. And I think, I won't say anything now, but
we now know in the synopsis at least what Siddiq's role was there. I think Siddiq is obviously the one that's going to maybe figure out the whole water poisoning thing, but you're right. Where's Aaron? He can't be just hanging out looking for Gamma, right?
Yeah. If you didn't see our video, check that out. That we'll get some more information. That's going to bleed over into the next episode. So stay tuned for our predictions on that.
What are you going to do? Is Aaron going to show up in Alexandria, see all these people sick, and be like, "Oh, that's right, Gamma was poisoning the water.
I forgot to come back." I don't know. We'll figure that part out. So Daryl and Carol, big stuff here. Carol, the way they're making her character right now is almost making you feel very angry with her, just because she's doing things on her own, but she's still withholding information, and she withheld information from Daryl
a couple times.
That she wanted to go out and search for the Horde. Fine, Daryl was on board. He was like, we have to do this properly because if we mess up,
she initially lied about that, though.
Yeah, right up. But Daryl kind of knew that.
I know Daryl knew about it, but she still lied.
She's
to
not
him
becoming.
About that.
She's not being
she's
forthright.
Not telling Daryl, probably the closest person she has at this very moment.
Yeah. She's not being forthright.
Yeah,
which is crazy. So Daryl, they find out. He's like, we just have to do this carefully. Blah blah blah. But when he goes, and before they revealed what she had in her bag, he goes to grab food and she snatches it. I'm like, okay. She's got something in the bag. He rifles through it really quick, and to him, he was looking for the gun. She didn't have the gun. By the end, when they were following the Whisperers and they got caught up, and did you hear that they're going to go back and tell Alpha because one of the Whisperers said, again. They knew they're there, they crossed again.
I didn't hear it.
Yeah, one of them said something at the beginning, you couldn't really hear it, and then you heard the word again, and then by the time Daryl did the blood and guts trick and he left, another Whisperer said something else. I couldn't catch it.
Yeah, I mean, in the end, Carol takes a Whisperer, and she had intentions to do it because she had zip ties.
Yeah, and Daryl was like, "Did you seriously plan this? This is a whole plan."
She tried to lie about it again.
Yeah, and I think it is. I think Carol.
No, she pretty much. It was known after that interaction. They left that she planned this.
Yeah.
And that's messed up, man. That is messed up.
So now you're bringing... This is going to be interesting in the next episode. You're bringing a Whisperer. You've captured a Whisperer. Now bringing it to your camp. And the Whisperers are going to know one's missing. They're going to know. And they're also going to tell Alpha that they crossed the border again.
Yeah, they're going to know.
This is just going to keep leading in.
It's going to get bad, man.
It's going to keep leading in.
Yeah. I mean, I think that may not necessarily start the war. I think something else is going to start the war. But that's not good. That's not a good... that sucks.
Yeah. So the next episode is going to be pretty big, so stay tuned for our predictions on that. But I thought it was a great episode. I really did.
You're forgetting a major part of it.
But, yeah, I was getting to it. One big reveal in this episode.
Before we get to the big reveal, so Eugene is he's fixing the radio. We now know the purpose of the Soviet satellite was to bring the parts and incorporate them into their current radio setup to extend the range of the radio. But did you like the interaction and the scene between Eugene and Rosita? I loved it.
I thought it was great. You can kind of tell that Rosita feels bad, I think. We don't know if she's, it comes from the comics that Eugene and Rosita, have kind of a relationship. And I don't think we're going to get it, but I think there's still a little bit something there. Even though Rosita shot him down, I think she still feels something for him. It could just be a big friendship, massive friend zone. Or it kind of, it just seemed like she missed him,
like he can't get out of the friend zone.
Exactly, but in this interaction, it seemed like she really cares for him and she missed him.
She genuinely missed him.
Yeah, she misses him.
But there was, I mean, and you could see Eugene right away. He's like, well, I missed you too.
Yeah,
right. He definitely wants to be with her desperately, but
I think his avenue is going to change.
Absolutely.
Because we got a pretty big comic reveal. Hasn't been revealed yet of who the woman is on the other end. But we finally get to hear the woman who was on the radio that potentially was... Now, even Josh McDermott said that he couldn't really say if that was the same woman at the end of season 9 or not.
Yeah.
He said they just kind of forgot about that. They moved on, but
Taterbug has found his...
Yeah.
Whatever you want to. He gets a hold of a individual further down in the range. We don't know where she's at because, again, based upon what they did in the comics, in the comic book, it is a character named Stephanie from the Commonwealth. Yeah. And the way that Eugene and Stephanie in the comic books did it is they did not want to give too much information to each other. They were not allowed to get personal.
Which is similar to what they were doing. Even though Eugene kind of gave some background on him, they kind of figured out that he went to the train museum out in Pennsylvania, and they remembered that they went to possibly the same ice cream shop. And it was similar in the comics because they kind of said, she was saying, I don't want to say too much. I don't trust you. It's hard to trust people. It's very similar to what was said in the comics.
Yeah,
too,
exactly. So. I mean, they've made a pact that there would be no personal information exchanged as long as this conversation continued with her and Eugene. Yeah,
so they have revealed who the actress is. It is Margot Bingham, and I'll put a picture up here for you. So she's African-American, and Stephanie in the comics is African-American. So for us comic book readers, we're like, well, they're kind of going that route.
She did not give her name.
She did not give her name.
Which sucks. I was waiting for her to say Stephanie.
And I was looking online on IMDb and anything on Google. Even on the Walking Dead Wikipedia, it's just the radio woman.
Yeah.
So they won't release that just yet. So like we said, we don't know if they are going to do the Commonwealth, a version of it, if it's CRM or where they're going to lead
Now,
this.
what's interesting
very exciting.
is, like I said in the comic books where they do not get personal, another line is also taken from the comic books where the woman on the radio says, she's so scared that she doesn't want to give too much information. Eugene tells her that there will be no others communicating with you.
Just us.
And I think she even said something like, if there is...
If I hear somebody,
we're done.
Yep.
And that was also in the comic books as well.
Yep. They're trying to keep it just between them. And we won't mention about how anything in the comics went, just for anybody who hasn't read. We don't want to spoil anything. But I think they're going down that route. It's a little early, comic book wise, but hey, it's the show. They can do whatever they want.
But
it fits right now.
It definitely does, and we may not hear anything about this again, right? Like we might stop it here and maybe pick it up towards the latter part of the season.
I would say they won't reveal anything like about her name or any. That would be like a cliffhanger for the end of the season. Depending on how they're going to do the
lame
war.
Cliffhanger, though, right?
Well, depending on how they do the war.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But I mean, well, not really. I mean, unless she gives information like, oh, I'm with another community and all this kind of stuff.
She gives a location. That'd be a huge cliffhanger.
Yeah.
Like Philadelphia. Which we all know.
Rick Grimes?
Yes.
No, I don't know. I don't know if it'd be a good cliffhanger. No. But I agree with you. I don't think it'd be till like later in the season because there's going to be bigger things coming up.
I mean, we might cut to a shot of Eugene in Hilltop. I'll tell you one thing right now is that keeps Eugene in Hilltop or at Hilltop.
Yeah.
That keeps him there.
Well, he left because of Rosita.
He left because of Rosita, but he also was anxious to get back to Rosita and back to Alexandria.
Yeah.
Now he's not going anywhere.
No, he's not going anywhere because he's going to keep. Because who knows how often they're going to reach out to each other. So it's going to be great.
And you know,
but how much we're going to see
smart
it
as he is, and as much intel that he needs. He's going to want to be there to continue that conversation,
right?
And especially if the woman on the other line doesn't want to talk to anybody else, Eugene has to make sure that no one else jumps on that radio.
And that's the thing, though, is like I wonder if it's a specific channel.
Well, he was flipping through that dial.
He was flipping around,
yeah.
So he might take note of where that channel is, and then when he's talking back and forth with Alexandria and the other groups, that's a different channel to where she potentially wouldn't be able to intercept that, but we don't know.
Can he disable? We don't know. Can he disable the functionality of the long range?
Right.
While he's out, and will we even get into that detail? Probably not.
We'll just be led to assume that Eugene knows that where the communities are in his radio, he has it up to a certain range, and he boosted that to test this Russian equipment to get farther out. So I think that we'll just know that he's smart enough.
There's one person that does know what he's doing, and that is Jerry's wife.
Yeah. Jerry's wife, yeah.
She knows, but, again, it's Eugene. And the way that he was talking to her, I didn't even understand all of it.
It was going,
how is she going to know?
It was going over her head in one ear and out the other.
Yeah.
So she wanted to get back to her kids.
Yeah.
So, guys, it was a really great episode. We have 2 episodes left before the mid-season break. It's going to be amazing.
And they look, at least the next one, looks action-packed.
Stay tuned. We will be breaking down the trailer, the promotional photos that come out as normal, giving our theories and predictions, because I think there's going to be a lot in this episode.
Yes, dude, yeah.
And then, of course, leading into the mid-season finale. Who knows where we're going for that. We will definitely see if we can do a reaction for the mid-season finale. I'm actually possibly thinking about getting AMC Premiere just to get it. So if we do, we'd be able to do it because we can watch it 48 hours in advance.
We could certainly do that, yeah.
Yeah, so, but stay tuned, guys. Let us know in the comments your thoughts of this episode. Any thoughts, theories, any little things we may have missed that... because as we're talking, we get so excited, we miss things. But we do love that you guys tell us some things.
Yeah, I obviously miss a lot.
Negan kneeling to bait.
Whatever, dude.
Somebody doesn't know how to watch a TV show.
Shut up.
All right, guys. Leave the video a quick like. Feel free to subscribe and stay tuned for more. I'm Jarrell.
I'm Josh.
We're NocBro Nation.
We're out.